Science is notorious for having some controversial issues. So what we see happen so often is people take scientific issues and then they're not using evidence to form their opinion, they're using emotion to form their opinion, or they're using history, or this is what I've always been taught, or this is how I was taught from the time I was a young child, so this is what I believe in. That's not really what today's evidence shows. What we're trying to help students understand in the science classroom is that if you're going to form an argument about something, first of all, what's the difference between an argument that's based on evidence versus an opinion? And if you're coming with an opinion, how can you take that opinion and research that opinion and see if there's evidence to support that so that it really does become a solid claim that you can argue as opposed to just an opinion? That's not easy for us to do in the classroom, and it's really uncomfortable for all the teachers because nobody wants to walk into a classroom where kids are arguing something, and it can get emotional. So one of the ways that that we've kind of attacked this is to pick some things that have already been solved in society. So like, for example, we know that the sun does not revolve around the earth, and we've got lots of evidence, and we're pretty sure that nobody believes that anymore. But we can take the evidence from, hundreds of years ago, and kids can look at that and they can see how the argument for whether the sun revolves around the earth or the earth revolves around the sun, and we can look at the evidence and we can sort of look at how those arguments played out as a research experiment for the students and as a training exercise for them. And then, once they can see the value of using real evidence, then we can get into, topics that are important today, like climate change, for example. And the important thing that we want students to understand is if you've got a body of evidence that supports an argument, then you can make that claim and you can argue that point. And in time, there might be new evidence that might change your argument. And that's the important part of the process of science. And we'd like everybody to go out into the world being able to just be able to do that, be able to say, here's my evidence, and here's what I think, here's my argument, here's my claim, and here's how I can back that up. And if the average person can do that, then that will take us, miles ahead in society of the way that we approach problem solving and just approach, old ideas and old values.